Exhausted but satisfied, we returned to the expo grounds. It would be good to sleep in a real bed again. We looked at the Taishi Academy and what they could give us. The historian smiled sadly up at me from atop his perch. He waited silently for me to make a request. We looked at the club shop and found, butterfly swords. A butterfly sword would surely be something good to add to our expedition. There were also scrolls, but we decided as we had an Academy Master ourselves, he would paint enough scrolls for us. We took the deal. Went on to train someone, maybe. Henri Durand was eager to learn. Kezia Young, however, was also very motivated, but we decided for Henri Durand, who loved us so much that we thought he would probably stay with us. Yes, steal as well. I submitted to Durand to learn new wisdom from the Academy Masters. I was told to return a day later to pick him up. When I returned the next day, Durand seemed to be wiser and steadier somehow. He had learned much here. Bustle of construction in the fairgrounds hummed around me, and we decided to go for a new expedition. I pondered what our next destination should be. We heard from a faraway map in stone. Circles of standing stones are rumored to lead the way to a mysterious lost treasure, they said, on a dry lands island. We wanted to continue our missions for the Taishi Academy. It was my last night in Paris, and I decided to celebrate over drinks. The evening before we were to depart, I spent a pleasant evening with a trek. Some in my party were already noticeably feeling the effects of imbibing. Homie clapped me on the shoulder, declaiming that I was a fine fellow. He suggested that surely I would be happy to stand the crew drinks for the evening. I hesitated. Every franc in our budget could be vital in the days ahead. Could I spare the money on such a luxury? Yes, I would. And we certainly didn't need more to drink, but I wanted to raise the crew's spirits. He thanked me profusely, raising a glass to my health. We had a rollicking good time that night, and though Homie looked a bit green around the gills at the next morning, everyone's spirits were high as we departed. Bon voyage! As we neared the site of the expedition, a small supply ship pulled alongside. I was grateful to the Taishi Academy for providing me with funds and equipment. We were looking around for something good to take with us, and torches were excellently reduced in price, so they would be one of our main things to take. On the other hand, we wanted something to preserve our sanity, so certainly some good spirits for the alcoholics among us, and also some chocolate was an absolute necessity. We would have to find stone circles, they said. My provisions chosen, I considered if there was yet more to be done. We wanted to refill the water for the dry lands a couple of times. And then we would begin the expedition. The legends told of a great treasure among these islands, but there was only one problem. No one knew where it was located. Fortunately, the Taishi Academy had found a clue, an island where locals told of ancient circles of stone that were rumored to lead to the treasure. I would need to find the stone circles to uncover the true location of the treasure I sought. We were eager to start our walk. Had discovered the dry lands. We were looking round to see, to check that we had enough water. And we would We would look around for someone to give the butterfly swords to. We already had a machete, but we wanted to take the impressive sword. The machete would go to Durand, and the spiked club we gave to the new Academy Master. He too would have to learn. We promoted Henri Durand. He was an important member of us. And went back to explore the island. Far away in the mountains we saw something mysterious. We were not sure what it was. The holes that we had seen there apparently were a cave. We entered it. I peered into a large cave. From where I stood I could see nothing but darkness inside. We wanted to enter the cave and used one of our torches. Taking care in the dark, I managed to find a path without further problems. At the far end of the cave I found a beautiful grotto with an astonishing variety of mushrooms that we would take with us. At the far end of the cave I found a beautiful grotto. Yeah. And we already had the mushrooms. So we would leave the cave for now. It was so beautiful with its giant mushrooms that were growing everywhere. Thankfully, we had managed to capture two that seemed to be strengthening, as our scout would tell us. From far away, we saw a shrine, but still decided to go and explore the coast a little bit. Something mysterious was about to happen. We found a little village, some islanders, and we decided to visit them. Large stone structures overshadowed everything in this village. These people must be masterful stonemasons to create works of such awesome beauty. And indeed, everywhere we found stone statues, littered as if these masterful pieces were nothing. Islanders observed me with caution and gave me a formal welcome. Henri strolled around and found something he could get. I had to admire his skill. It seemed like the theft had gone unnoticed. He caught 2 tanning kits, my goodness me. Stashed our ill-gotten loot and pondered what to do next, and we wanted to trade. We looked around what we could get there. Maybe the strengthening mushrooms would be interesting for them. We would really like to meet the ruler, we thought. And so, put in even the ill-gotten gains we gained. But still looked around if we could find something else that would help us on our travels. But nothing much was found there. And so we decided to just give them what we had found. Came to an agreement with the islanders, and then met with their rulers after we gave them some gifts. I came and waited quietly near the entrance. At the council weighed the matter of a local disagreement. Apparently 2 villagers each claimed ownership of a cow. One villager cowherd was the original owner. Supposedly, her cow had destroyed many valuable cocoa plants on the other's farm. The cowherd vehemently denied. I was enjoying the local drama when the council suddenly turned to me and demanded that I make the judgment. Who should keep the cow? I mean, the cowherd was better able to keep the cow for the good of the tribe. So it was easy that the cowherd should keep it. Snorting triumphantly, the cowherd chuckled as she left the hut. The former spat at my feet and muttered something about foreign devils. Council rather ineffectively tried to hide their smiles and asked me what my business here was. They would grant me time for a single request. We would ask for a quest to help them. Inquired if there was anything I could do to help the village. A wizened shaman was brought in. He planned a journey to a location of spiritual importance and inquired as to whether we would be able to provide protection on the way. He nodded, pleased. After a brief introduction, he gave detailed instruction to his destination, an ancient shrine in the middle of nowhere. We wanted to find more, of course. And we heard of some islanders that just lived out there. I marked it on my map, my request granted. I bowed to the council and left them to their business. We exited the HUD and decided to rest in the village for a while. Spent the night. A warrior approached at night with a good-natured smile. He wanted to test our mettle and challenged the best of us to wrestle against him. Who would be good to wrestle him? Henri Durand was certainly a prime candidate for that. I myself could not hope to beat him. Homie also had a good chance, but we sent young Henri. We were successful. Henri Durand and his challenger Nudesqui moved away from the fire. A small clearing, a small group of spectators formed to watch. The contest seemed evenly matched, but after a tense struggle, Durand got the better of the warrior, flipping him onto his back. The warrior congratulated us happily, clearly surprised that he had lost. I saw new respect in the eyes of the villagers that night. Good Henri. We slept. And had a beautiful time in the village. Spent several quiet and peaceful days in the village. I was treated as a welcome guest, and we left, sallied forth as new adventures were waiting. An islander clasped my hand in respect and wished me farewell. It was the warrior against whom Henri had wrestled. We went on to approach the islanders at the waterfall, about whom we had heard. We met some islanders who seemed to be very agitated. Their companion had fallen down a hole. They could not get him out. They begged us for our help. We did not have a rope, still tried to help them, but failed miserably. Despite our efforts, the islander had been injured when he fell. He succumbed to his wounds, and there was nothing we could do. A fabled sinking shrine was nearby that we decided to visit before it would... Oh, it had already gone away. Still, though, there was something else to discover. The hut of a hunter. I encountered a hunter's cabin out in that trackless wilderness. It seemed that its owner preferred a solitary existence out among the wildlife. Henri went out to try to catch something. Henri Durand flashed a grin and revealed what he had taken. I had to admire his skill. It seemed that the theft had gone unnoticed. We went and found a keen-eye mushroom. We wanted to trade with him. A dire wolf pelt, a scorpion stinger, animal scents, raw meat. And yeah, it wasn't like the best that we could catch there. After seeing the items yet available for trade, I reconsidered. We would probably not hunt a beast together, or would we? Oh, we were there. We kind of had to do it. Told the huntmaster of a fearsome creature that I wanted killed. She agreed to deal with it for a price. What? Okay. No, we would cancel. I changed my mind. It was not the right time. But now we knew where we could ask for help. It was time to make Homie learn more. And as a celebration, as he learned more, we drank a bottle of whiskey and ate some chocolate to boot. Then we went forward. To a place at the mountains where we had not gone before. We heard the howling of hyenas nearby, and the gentle hum of a waterfall that would get louder as we reached it. We quickly approached the waterfall to rest there. It was quite enormous, a powerful demonstration of the elegance and might of nature. We refilled our water and decided to rest there. This was a good place. I was sure I would get something. But I noticed Homie and Henri Durand sitting together quietly discussing a recent skirmish. Homie was slow to open up, but it quickly came out that he had been deeply rattled by the experience. Nightmares plagued him, and he was becoming jumpy and distracted. Henri Durand listened in silence, and then slowly told of his own experiences. He too had struggled, but hadn't wanted to share his troubles for fear of being thought a coward. The two talked long into the night. Only listened, but anyone could see how they bonded over what they had gone through, and how much more comfortable they became as they spoke. In the days to come, I saw a trust between the two that had been absent before, and I found myself taking a heart in their newfound friendship. We christened this the Waterfall of Friendship. We heard the hyenas come closer. We would miss the waterfall, but we had to leave. As we knew that the hyena would attack us, we decided to be first. It was time to fight. Looked around what our options would be. made a rite of pain come through. The enemies became weak. Decided to make them even weaker. Distracting illusions. Then we went for an attack on one of the hyenas. We slashed and fought. Ouch, they attacked Henri, and our islander shaman took some hits. We went for an attack. Discussed what we would do. Alas, we failed for a bit. Still though, it might be enough. Distracted them to protect ourselves. Alas, it was not enough. At least one of the beasts, though, went down. Their attack on us was blocked. We, in turn, went on the attack. Personally made sure that I would attack the hyena with utmost force. We scour the battlefield for 2 hyena pelts, 2 times raw meat and 2 animal teeth. We took it all in and decided to approach the waterfall again to recover and heal. The sun had already set and the sounds of wildlife had died down, yet in the darkness I suddenly heard the melodious song of some nocturnal bird. Little birds called to one another, sounding almost if they were gossiping among themselves. The sounds comforted me, coloring my dreams as I drifted off to sleep. We left the place, mostly healed and well recovered. Far away we heard a merchant, somewhere at the waterfalls. We went to the trader that we saw from afar. To my surprise, I encountered a colorfully dressed wandering trader. The man groaned beneath the weight of a heavy pack containing his wares. Henri tried to steal something. Everyone distracted the trader, and Henri got some colorful marbles. We traded with a good man. There was a hunting rifle to be had. Something that would be great for our scout. Other than that, there was some moonshine to be had. That would be great to make our scout happy. We looked around, and he wanted to buy some animal tooth and hyena pelts, which was just what we had. He took some scrolls and some of his own marbles as a payment. We were happy to go for that trade. And even gave him some water to boot. Our business concluded, I ventured into the wilderness once more. He told us of a mysterious place not far away from here in the desert, and we decided to go there. An old camp was what we discovered. Before me lay the wreckage of another Trek's campsite. I noticed a pile of bones that had been recently cracked open and sucked dry of their marrow. We searched the camp with the help of some torches. I stopped the trek to begin a thorough search. The effort went on as long as there was light. The goods I found were well worth it. We found 2 scrolls, a beautiful first aid kit, and a tribal artifact. We would take it all, and indeed, start to use some of the things already. We decided to let some water be, to cook and eat some of our meat, and then we went on to find something else mysterious on the other side of the river. Mysterious, mysterious. We went back looking for that odd place. We're covered in tar, but still found an ancient stone circle. We drank some cheap moonshine. Or maybe it was time to celebrate this with a bottle of whiskey. Approached the circle. According to legend, the first piece of the map would be found here. We studied the stones. Pulling forth a large roll of paper that I had brought for the purpose, I carefully copied the etchings on the stones. My map was beginning to take shape. We also found out that there was another stone. It was to be found somewhere on this island. To that, we drank some moonshine and went forward. A strange monolith stood there near a mountain. Purple and majestic it stood there. Its shifting surface unlike anything I had seen before. It was as if the dark island fog had been captured in solid shape. We touched the monolith. As I lay my hand on the surface of the monolith, a shock coursed through my body. Images of the island flashed before my eyes, too fast to take in. Places I had been and places I had not. My mind scrabbled for purchase in the flood, and slowly I forced myself to focus on image of a single place. Which place did I see? We could indeed teleport somewhere. And we could teleport directly to the shrine that our shaman wanted to visit. Forgotten temple stood bathed in light before me. The structure was slightly tilted and subsiding. The ground seemed as if it could open into a gasping chasm at any moment. We had reached our destination. Geba, the shaman, gave us a token of his thanks and began quietly preparing his rituals. We entered the shrine. Inside was a small, shadowy chamber. A long hallway led to the altar room ahead. I took a breath, keeping an eye out for traps. We wanted to look for secrets, and used one of our torches to do that. As I ran my hand over the rough surface of a wall, a string of arcane runes flared to life, seeming to carve themselves into the stone before my very eyes. We would examine the writing. I studied it, my mind becoming strangely focused. I found myself speaking words I had never heard before, chanting their strange song against my will. I lost consciousness briefly. When I came to, an inner glow suffused my being. And we went on to the altar chamber. Pictographs on the altar warned that a great chasm would open beneath the shrine if the treasure here were disturbed. We looked at the treasure, decided to let the golden figurines shine there, and returned to the entry chamber. We departed, leaving the shrine in peace. We still had to find one more stone circle. And we ate some chocolate to the occasion and ventured further. Found a mysterious scroll and decided there was some strange valley viewable that we would really like to visit. Traveled further, hearing the sound of the hyenas. But nothing came of the island. And we didn't know where we could find the second stone circle that was supposed to be on this island. The hyena stood there. We tried to avoid it. But first, we had to do something about our sanity. Drink, 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 was it? Traveled further, finding something in the desert, and alas, it was the second circle. We had learned much. Then approached the circle to find what we had missed. My heart began to beat faster as I came to the final stone circle. I was almost finished. We completed the map. At long last, my map was complete. I could not wait to return to Paris and plan my next expedition to recover the treasure, fortune, and glory. I had a look at the beautiful map we had made of the island. were pretty satisfied of this strange dry land. Continued to Paris to triumph over a map in stone that we had found. We had brought some treasures with us and celebrated massively. The people of Paris were happy, and we were too. What had we learned from this expedition? We had decided to become a mountaineer. As I returned to Paris, a rather suspicious-looking gentleman approached me. He told me that he had excellent bargains on equipment. Looked like a shady dealer. After explaining where to find his shop, he quietly slunk away. Surely I would be a fool to not at least see what he had to offer. And we took a look. Found the dealer skulking in a dark alleyway. Nervously, I kept my hand on my wallet as I approached. But we had Durand with us, and looked around what we could find here. Binoculars. A crucifix. A nice saddle. Certainly binoculars were something that would be greatly beneficial to us. And a crucifix as well. That would comfort us. We took the deal against some tickets and were happy. I was sure I wouldn't regret my purchase. Then we visited the Trichy Academy and its historian. We left for now, looked at the Royal Avalon Society. A hiking stick was available there. And some tea. Oh, tea! But I decided to save my tickets for someone else. It was invigorating. We thanked everyone for coming with us and spent some time in Paris together. Thank you for watching and reading my diary, friend. Have a great time until next time and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Can, signing out. See you soon and happy gaming.